This is a true life story of the literal torture of my family at the hands of my very own father. These are my first memories of the cruelty that ensued. This doesn't mean these things only happened once. These are my firsts. And one such memory is I was sitting in the doorway to the kitchen playing with a sock monkey Mom had made for me out of old gym socks. Mom was doing the dishes and cleaning the kitchen. There was a nice breeze coming from the screen door. When Dad said through the door, "Psst," I looked over and he gestured with his hands to come here. So I left my monkey on the floor and went to see what Dad wanted. I didn't say anything to Mom when I walked out. When I stepped out the door, a cute, fuzzy little puppy jumped up on my legs. Dad said, "He's yours. Do you like him?" I picked up that puppy so fast, hugging it to my chest as he licked my face. I was instantly in love. I ran inside with the puppy, yelling, "Mommy, Mommy, look what Daddy gave me." I was so excited, but when I looked at Mom, she was instantly furious with my dad. He had followed me into the house. Mom told me, "Go outside." So I did, taking the puppy with me. I could hear my mom yelling at my dad, saying she can't keep it. I can barely keep the kids fed, and you give her a dog? That dog is going to be huge. We can't afford it. Dad argued back, "I got her the dog, and she's going to keep it. You know the other kids want a dog too. It won't be just hers." Mom stated that that's not the point. I can't afford to feed it. You should know better than to do this to her. "I'm not doing anything to her. You are. You're the one who won't let her keep it, not me." "You should have never brought it home. You know I'm not working." My dad said, "I don't care. Make it work." Then Mom stated, "Maybe she'd be able to keep it if you would quit taking all my money and food stamps so you can get drunk all the time." Dad became enraged. He swung back, slapping her in the face. My mother's head snapped sideways due to the force of the hit. Then Dad grabbed Mom by the throat with both hands. He started to bend her back over the kitchen table, choking her. She was trying to pry his hands from around her throat, but her tries were in vain. He continued to choke her when I noticed that my mom's arms were starting to relax. I thought she was giving up. My father's face was all crazy looking, intently staring at Mom while still choking her, laying on the table. When she started to relax, I felt terrified that he was killing my mother right in front of me. I panicked, ran up to him, and I attacked him. I punched and kicked him, yelling, "Don't kill my mommy! Don't kill my mommy!" I hit my dad with everything there was in me. I believe if I was the size of one of my sisters, I could have easily done some serious damage to the man. That's how scared I was to lose my mother. My father broke his stare at Mom and looked at me. His face instantly changed, looking shocked at the fact that I was hitting him as hard as my little self could. No one dared hit my father, and there I was punching the crap out of his leg. He stopped choking her. I could hear gurgling in my mother's throat. I thought she was dead. I stepped over and started shaking her arm as hard as I could while yelling, "Mommy, Mommy!" All that time, at that time, she took a deep, labored breath, then a sharp inhale as she shot up, sitting on the table. She began coughing and gagging while she grabbed at her throat. Mom was coughing so violently while trying to catch her breath, sounding like a barking seal. Then she hopped off the table and ran into the bathroom. I followed her. She was bent over the toilet, grabbing at her throat, throwing up, and couldn't stop coughing. She waved me out of the bathroom, but I didn't leave. I stood there watching her, coughing and puking. After a few minutes, my father calmly walked into the bathroom, taking my hand, leading me out of the bathroom. I didn't take my eyes off her until I had to turn the corner, leaving her behind. After a while, her coughing had calmed down, but still she was gagging. Mom went to lay on the bed. I went to her, taking my small hand, gently caressing her face. Her neck was all red and looked puffy. She told me, "Go lay down." I left her room looking for my father. He had obviously taken the puppy and ran off. So I went in my room, laid on the bed, and softly cried to myself. I was so terrified because my mom had almost died that day. Even at such a young age, I knew what had transpired. Later that evening, Mom had a collared shirt on and was trying to hide the bruises and redness caused by my father. For days afterwards, Mom was straining to talk. Dad didn't even come back for a couple days. We never talked about what happened. She treated it as if it was a natural occurrence. No cops, no hospital visits, no help. Other than my father's psychotic behavior, there are problems with this memory as well as I did the last video. This is also two separate incidents melded into one memory. The part about the puppy happened at the R Street address. I know that for a fact. The second portion, when she takes a breath and gets up off the table, is another choking incident altogether. The reason I know this is because at the R Street address, the bathroom was on the left-hand side between the side door and kitchen. When she gets up to jump off the table, she gets up and runs straight, turning right into the bathroom. That is another house entirely. That house was white. I don't really remember a whole lot that happened at that white house, but what I do remember is horrific. At the White House is where, for the first time, I didn't know if my father had damaged my mother's throat so badly that I didn't know if she could ever recover, damaging her voice for days. I have never openly talked about my childhood before. All I've ever said was my father was an abusive alcoholic. Not even my children know of the horrors I witnessed as a child. I never wanted them to know such people exist, nor that it was my father who acted out those atrocities. I don't even know if you'll believe me. Many did not believe us as kids, and the horrendous treatment continued. But sadly, they're all true. All of it. The pictures used were free on the internet. They have absolutely no affiliation with me. Thank you for listening to my heartbreaking childhood memories. It's nice to finally be able to share these horrible secrets.